Yes, sir. It's the divisional round. It's going down. Superstar selections, let's go. To get started, let's review the two games that we have on Saturday. Game number 1 on the slate. We got the Tennessee Titans versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, last week, Tennessee was on technically a bye week because they're the number 1 seed and did not have to play a game. They're getting healthy, and they also have Derrick Henry back practicing. Now, Tennessee is one of the scariest teams in these playoffs, and they have a lot of pieces, and the health of their overall team will determine how high they can really go. On the other side of the matchup, we have the Cincinnati Bengals, a.k.a. the Fighting Joe Burrows, who knocked off the Las Vegas Raiders last week in a hard-fought W. Now, early on in the game, they were rolling, they were efficient, but it seemed like towards the tail end, their offensive attack got more conservative as they tended to focus on the defense making stops and solidifying the W. The Cincinnati Bengals are built to upset the Tennessee Titans. However, hear me out. I don't think they will be able to do so. When you look at the teams that Tennessee has played in the past, the formula for beating them is by throwing the ball. We know that Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals can do just that. He has 3 receivers over 1,000 yards, and the first receiver to score a touchdown last week was his tight end. Now, they also have a competent run game with Joe Mixon and a little dose of Samaje Perine here and there. But Joe Mixon is banged up, and I don't know overall how effective their ground game will be. Tennessee on defense is very stout against the run with some susceptibility with their cornerbacks. Safeties are good to go. Cincinnati's defense lost a key player in D-tackle Larry Ogunjobi to a foot injury, and I haven't seen the updated report, so I'm not sure if he'll be playing or not. On the back end, they have competent DBs. Jesse Bates is really nice, and Mike Hilton did a great job of slowing down Hunter Renfrow last week. But A.J. Brown and Julio Jones are a totally different animal from a Hunter Renfrow. And the outside corners will have to step up and make some plays. And I don't know if that's possible. Let alone, we all know that this team is built for the ground and pound. Ryan Tannehill will need to make a couple throws here and there, but they've made it much easier because his key throws are just throws short yardage that move the chains. Look for Ryan Tannehill to not make a lot of mistakes, Derrick Henry to get something going, but Deontay Foreman to have a bulk of the work, A.J. Brown to take advantage of his mismatches, a potential touchdown from Julio, and ultimately a Tennessee Titans W. Game number 2 on the slate. We got the San Francisco 49ers versus the Green Bay Packers. Now, if you were paying attention last week, then you know that I called for the upset of the Dallas Cowboys by the San Francisco 49ers strictly because the effectiveness of their ground game and their stubbornness to lay down and take an L. On the other side of this matchup, we have the Green Bay Packers being led by the discount double check himself, and they're not slowing down anytime soon. The San Francisco 49ers are a traditionally built team, and they're all about establishing the run and playing great defense. These two teams squared off against each other week 3 of the regular season, and it was one of the best regular season games to date. Green Bay came out attacking and went up early. Then San Fran began to slowly but surely come back. When Jimmy G put them ahead, it was up to Aaron Rodgers to seal the deal late in the 4th quarter on the game-winning drive with no tugs left, setting up Mason Crosby for the winning field goal. I am one that buys into the narrative of it being difficult to beat the same team twice. The reason being is because of the history in the matchup and the clues that were left from the past matchup. The team that lost has a much greater incentive to switch up their attack in order to win the second go-around. The team that won saw success, so they may be a little hesitant to change what they did simply because what they did previously work. With that being said, Aaron Rodgers knows what's at stake. Devontae Adams knows what's at stake. They already tweeted before the season started that this will be the last dance type of season. San Fran coming to Lambeau. I think Aaron Rodgers not only jumps out early, but they keep their foot on the gas this turnaround. I think San Fran will show up looking forward to establishing the run and getting some great matchups with Green Bay's DBs. I think, similar to last week, this receiving core has evolved, and especially since week 3 of the regular season. I'm looking for contributions from Brandon Ayuk and, of course, Deebo Samuel. Last week, you got to fact check me. I believe George Kittle may have only had 1 catch. He was out there blocking like an old lineman because he's the type of guy that's going to be willing to do any and everything to win. If he gets open and gets some mismatches in coverage, it's going to be even crazier. I'm looking for Elijah Mitchell to have a great game, but in the end, I cannot go against the discount double check in Lambeau. Look for Aaron Rodgers to have another astounding performance, solidify his MVP campaign, and take Green Bay to the next round.